Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinox Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Bablet Jonathan. In our top stories in this edition of the news, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Cameroon, Chief Dr. Joseph John Gotti, continues his peace mission in Anglophone Cameroon in a tense and highly militarized atmosphere in the southwest region of the country. The Prime Minister has continued calling on the pro-independence fighters to drop their guns and come out of the bushes and return to the normal life training response to President Paul Biya's olive branch extended to them. And also in this newscast, we shall show you the deplorable and ugly state of several roads in the Republic of Cameroon. The problem of bad roads is affecting even big cities as well as the hinterlands in Cameroon. Stay with us. As I told you in the headlines, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Cameroon, Chief Dr. Joseph John Gotti, is in the opaque city of Limbe in the southwest region of Cameroon, canvassing for a return to normalcy in the two Anglophone regions of the country hit by socio-political and security crisis for close to 3 years. Today, the Prime Minister is on lap 2 of his peace mission to the two Anglophone regions of the Republic of Cameroon. After the northwest, he's been in the southwest region of the country since yesterday, and he was in Boya and other parts of the country, notably other parts of the southwest region, calling on inhabitants of the Anglophone parts of Cameroon to be peace crusaders, to crusade for a return to normalcy in the two Anglophone regions of the country, and also urging the pro-independence fighters to drop their guns and come out of the bushes and return to the normal life trend, and of course promising that the President of the Republic of Cameroon is ready. He and his government are ready to discuss everything except the separation of the country, or better still, secession. He is in the opaque city of Limbe meeting with political, religious, traditional, administrative and civil society leaders, finding a way out of the Anglophone crisis, though many critics, politicians, civil society actors have qualified his peace mission to the two Anglophone regions of the country as a fruitless journey, as a joke intended to please the international community and give indications that the government has goodwill and of course is struggling to restore normalcy in the two Anglophone regions of the country. We come back to what the Prime Minister did yesterday in the southwest region with our correspondent Derek Jato.
The Mungo Bridge, whose identity is being tested for 3 years now, is under high security alert. Today, the Mungo Bridge welcomes Cameroon Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. John Gotti Joseph, and these Southwest administrative, local and traditional authorities are all here for the ceremony. This Southwest region is at war, reason why the military is dressed for the occasion. And after being welcomed at the Mungo Bridge entering Chico subdivision, the Cameroon Prime Minister and Head of Government must have seen the consequences of the war. There is nothing like CDC banana plantation again. He will stop at the Chico roundabout to call for peace.
So from now on, stop, leave this matter, and don't be so.
Then Mutengeni. Mile 16 is empty. He must have been briefed that the last gun battle witnessed here was some few days ago. This is mile 17. Moliko is alive. He will stop at the Great Supermarket and then Mountain Hotel.
We are here at Mountain Hotel in Boya. Prime Minister and Head of Government just arrived now, and if you could see, they are taking the list of the 15 women that will appear before the Prime Minister and table their worries. These are women that have seen their children being killed. They have seen their relatives being killed. They have seen their husbands being killed. Most of them are widows, and they want a way out. The chiefs are making their entrance. The chiefs are making their entrance. The chiefs are making their entrance. We don't know what will really be the atmosphere and the order of programs here, but from all indication, these women will be one of the first groups to meet the Prime Minister and head of government. So that is it here.
And next were audiences.
Cameroon Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. John Gote Joseph, is granting the second audience for the day. The first one was with the administrators and security officers. That was at the Southwest Governor's office. And over here at Mountain Hotel, he is granting the second audience. And far right behind me, at the other side of that door divided, are elites of the Southwest region, both local and external. We don't know what they are discussing at the moment, but it is believed that they should be able to tell our Prime Minister and Head of Government what is actually going on the ground. I am Derek Jato for Equinox News, signing out.
And the Prime Minister, Chief Dr. Joseph John Gote, is going to be heading to one of the epicenters of violence and destruction within the context of the Anglophone crisis, that is Kumba in the Meme division in the southwest region of the country. He will be bringing, of course, President Paul Biya's message of peace to the people of Kumba and the entire Meme division. He will be discussing equally with political, civil society, traditional, religious, and administrative authorities with the objective, of course, of finding a way out of the current Anglophone crisis. And one of the journalists who has been covering the Anglophone crisis in the northwest region of the country, he was an outspoken and fearless reporter working for Radio Hot Cocoa in the northwest regional capital, Bamenda. He was popularly known as Makchi. He is no more. He quit the scene yesterday, as our correspondent Stella reports from Bamenda.
Narradio Coco this, Natori time this, Nami, Peter Tebichi, we maneminem, Namakchi, Nami this.
Unfortunately, henceforth, no live pigeon news will be presented by the Ace Pigeon News reporter Peter Tebichi, popularly called Makchi. The Pigeon News broadcaster and technician traveled to the world beyond, breaking Tuesday, May 14, 2019, following a brief illness.
Wait to make Tori today for Bamenda, wait to make Tori outside Bamenda. We're not going to get up all in the seconds ahead.
This particular Pigeon News edition of April 5, 2019 was the last he presented on his 4 p.m. news program.
Send stuff for today, I say.
Colleagues are held down. They mourn the death of one whom they described as a mentor. Nimpa Francis is editor-in-chief at Radio Hot Cocoa.
I've lost a prolific Pigeon News presenter. So that can tell you how shocking I am. The vacuum which will be very difficult to fill. He's a man who mastered his job. The drama, the comic, and the way, the style of presenting his Pigeon News gave him a name and a popularity in this town, in this region and beyond.
His fans, who cut across every walk of life, converged at the Bamenda Regional Hospital mortuary and at his residence to confirm their doubts.
His death is a bitter pill for us to swallow, especially his program where he used to mend bridges, reconcile families, the way he interacts with his fans, the way he gives out his 4 o'clock Pigeon News. You don't need anybody to interpret to a mother that is what Makchi is saying, or every Okada that you climb at 4, you will hear him on air. Even in the market, when I go to buy, I will hear him on air. So it was really, really sad. I felt very, very touched within me.
Morning, some shocking news. I believe say today Makchi is no more. Where Makchi, why you do it so? Makchi, who say will tend for get your information? Who say will tend for get your education? Makchi, who say will tend for get some joy? Because each time when Makchi dey on air, we know everybody they put the ears, but who say will play put our ears.
Peter Tebichi leaves behind family, friends, colleagues, fans of Pigeon News and If Na You, programs he anchored on Radio Hot Cocoa. His remains are lying at the Bamenda Regional Hospital mortuary, pending burial.
Coming up, we take you to Ngaoundéré in the Adamawa region of the Republic of Cameroon, where Smanjik and Gabriel is going to be showing us some roads in that area, in that part of Cameroon. The roads are in a deplorable state, and this is a problem that is affecting several parts of the country, from the big cities right into the hinterlands. His report.
Commercial motorcycles and other vehicles overtaken by water. This is a section of the National Road number 1 in Ngaoundéré, connecting to Garoua. The state of this road has been like this for several years, particularly around the custom office. When it rains, one spends at least 2 hours on the road. Because of the nature of the road, when lorries are loading their goods, others can't move along the same path, causing traffic congestion. Inhabitants of this locality say they have been long promised by the government that they will repair the road, but till date, no changes. The population has just a message to the government, which is that they should keep to their promises and repair the roads.
Nous demandons au gouvernement s'il pouvait nous arranger cette route, ça fera notre affaire.
While hoping that changes will be done on the road that has been a nightmare to road users, the inhabitants will still have to continue with the sufferings.
And several roads here in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala, equally in an advanced state of dilapidation. And we're going to take you right away to Bonaberi. It is in the Douala 4 municipality. For me, Armstrong Sander has more.
We are at Mabanda, a neighborhood in Bonaberi, Douala 4 subdivision. Here at Mabanda, a disturbing promiscuity reigns, with standing waters occupying almost every street. Gutters completely blocked and consequently forming larger pools of water. Inhabitants are compelled to increase ground level in order to create passage across the standing water, and vehicle owners as well are having a hard time. Inhabitants say children find it difficult to go to schools because of the bad state of the road, while others get drowned in the larger pools of water, especially when it rains. The poor state of the road, others say, has also badly affected the transport network, as very few vehicles, both commercial and private, now enter Mabanda. Inhabitants regret that the municipal and local authorities have given a blind eye, despite the worsening nature of the roads and its impact on their economic and social life. With the coming of the rains, they are afraid that a disturbing flood and inundation might befall if nothing is done.
For me, Armstrong Sander reporting there. Now we're going to remain on the road to talk about road accidents and efforts by the National Gendarmerie to curb the high rate of accidents recorded on highways across the Republic of Cameroon. Immaculate Fogwe reports.
This driver was caught on camera over speeding on National Highway number 5.
J'ai eu un petit doute au niveau de la couleur de mon véhicule.
But he doubts the gendarmerie information because of an error on the color of his vehicle and the matriculation number, exit.
Mais mon ticket présentait OS 546 AN, d'où le doute s'est installé.
He is then taken to the crime scene for verification. The rider confirms the vehicle caught over speeding is his.
C'est votre véhicule. Vous êtes d'accord maintenant que notre radariste a été honnête, il n'a pas menti.
Like him, many road users continue violating the driving code on highways across Cameroon and this contributes to the high rate of accidents recorded.
People are still overspeeding. People are going fast. They don't respect speed limitation on the roads. People are still have bad habits. They drive car without safety belts. People are they don't care about the technical state of their cars.
The intensification of road safety campaigns on the national highways number 3 and 5 and orders by the National Gendarmerie. While the National Gendarmerie is tracking down recalcitrant drivers, in order to enhance the protection of road users, the latter are urged to call the number 501 to denounce corruption, abuse and torture committed by gendarme officers.
Youth unemployment, a major problem affecting young people in the Republic of Cameroon. Over the years, the rate of youth unemployment has constantly been on the rise, and this is a major concern for the Cameroon government, and the United Nations system in Cameroon is now coming in to help the government of the Republic of Cameroon to solve the problem of youth unemployment through Youth Connect, the project Youth Connect. Details in this report by Immaculate Fogwe.
Young people in Cameroon between the ages 15 and 30 constitute more than half of the population. Unfortunately, the active age group is faced with the problem of high rate of unemployment. The difficulties of securing a job tends to increase the vulnerability of these young people, causing some of them to indulge in social vices. Government authorities blame the circulation of fake information as one of the major setbacks in their quest to get employed.
I think, as you know, the major problem of young people within the impact of the public policies is the misinformation and bad information, because we used to say young people are connected, but they are badly connected. They are connected to fake news and other misinformation. So that's why.
Although youth unemployment has been among issues dominating the political discourse, a solution to the problem appears elusive. In a bid to eradicate the problem of youth unemployment in Cameroon, the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education, alongside the United Nations, created a platform known as Youth Connect, which is expected to address the phenomenon.
This initiative that which aimed at connecting young people to the opportunities offered to them by the government, by the private sector, by the civil society, the partner, the development partners, and connect young people themselves between themselves is very important for the success of policies in favor of youth. And for Cameroon, as you know, this initiative comes when the head of state has launched his mandate of great opportunities.
The choice of Douala, as explained by the minister, was not by error.
We came here to launch those consultations in Douala because we know that Douala has many important entrepreneurs and particularly the economic operators, and that's why we are satisfied with the presence of the GCAM in this ceremony and the commitment they have taken to accompany that initiative. And we have also seized the opportunity of this Unity Week to launch those consultations because
representatives from the United Nations express satisfaction. It is very important that we listen to the youth by identifying their needs through the formation of the program Youth Connect. It is an initiative which is aimed at addressing the problem of youth by connecting them to the world and creating better opportunities. It is hoped that the platform Youth Connect will be able to attain its objective by connecting the youth to better opportunities.
And the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, is now assisting the Cameroon government to move the young people in Cameroon from bad connection to profitable connection. We're going to be talking about that in the second part of this newscast. Stay with us. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in Talking Points. You are receiving Joseph Fajong. He's the National Communication Expert of the United Nations Development Program in Cameroon. You're welcome, Joseph.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you so much, televiewers of Equinox, and I want to congratulate you for the wonderful job you are doing to inform, educate, and entertain the public in various domains.
All right. From your studies, where are we today as far as the rate of youth employment in Cameroon is concerned?
Yes, I think the report we followed moments ago was a succinct but panoramic presentation of the current situation in Cameroon. We all know that the unemployment rate in Cameroon today stands at about 6%. We also know that underemployment in Cameroon is over 70%. And we also know that children and young people in Cameroon aged 0 to 35 make up almost 70 or 80%, because it's 79% of our population. And of course, the active population between the ages of 15 and 35 years make up around 35% of the population. And if we want to go by these statistics, you will realize with me that the country is in dire need of employment. It is in dire need of development, because you cannot do anything without the population, who make an overwhelming, an overwhelming majority of the population. Especially the young people who are energetic and ready to put in their contribution to the development of the nation. But unfortunately, many of them are unemployed. They don't have the opportunity to do so. Exactly, and that is just why the United Nations Development Program, together with other UN agencies, particularly UNFPA, United Nations Population Fund, UNESCO, and through the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education, came up with this initiative, what we call Youth Connect, which is adding to other initiatives. If you attended the event moments ago this afternoon, you will remember that the Minister of Youth Affairs and Civic Education listed a modicum of initiatives that the Cameroon government has already put in place to accompany youths gain employment, yet unemployment persists. So the United Nations Development Program came up with this initiative, what we call Youth Connect, which is actually an innovative platform that seeks to connect youth or young people with economic, political, social, and in fact, all the aspects of life, connect them with those who are, experts in this domain. All right. Today already, you got the declaration from GICAM, the Secretary General, who was sitting in place of the President of GICAM. He made a powerful declaration today, Alain Blaise Patonge, that he has heard the plight of the youths. He is ready and determined to link up youth with employers, with business opportunities, and of course to support startups in this domain. All right, several other initiatives had already been put in place, undertaken by government and other organizations. As you indicated earlier, the problem has persisted over the years and has apparently been growing as many more young persons leave the higher institutions of learning, leave the universities with degrees, with diplomas and so on, and are jobless. Now, what is coming in as a new element in this other initiative? What is new in this other initiative that is going to produce results that the others did not? Yes, I don't want to say, or I don't want to criticize the other programs, because yes, they have produced good and palpable results. We heard the minister today say it. Youth Connect is a bit different from the others. First, because it is a bottom-up approach. What do I mean? At the moment, you realize that we're talking about the second regional consultation workshop for youth Connect. We have previewed
that took place
today here in Douala. Today was the second in a series of 4 consultation workshops. We had the first in Garoua, which brought together youth from the 3 northern regions of Cameroon. Today was the second, bringing together youth from the littoral and the southwest regions of Cameroon. Next week, we are moving to Bafoussam, where we will be hosting youth from the northwest and west regions of Cameroon. And we are ending up in the center region that will be bringing youths from the east, from the south, and the center regions of Cameroon. That will be a kind of bottom-up approach. They are not just coming for us to tell them what to do. No, we are consulting them. They are telling us exactly the challenges, the problems, their views and opinions, and how they think we can support them, to overcome these challenges. That is what is unique and, different about this program. Now, we're talking about the regional consultations covering the 10 regions of Cameroon. Besides the regional consultations, we also have an online platform. Today, when you talk about development, when you talk about the 21st century, you're talking about the Android generation, the internet and everything. So we have taken care of that. When you go to the internet on UNDP website, you have a special Facebook page, a special Twitter page. You just need to search Youth Connect Cameroon and you get every information you need. You have a form online which you can fill. Even if you don't have the opportunity to be consulted, you can fill that form. You just log in online, UNDP website, Youth Connect Cameroon. It's going to give you a simple form which you're going to fill. You give your opinion, which will be taken into consideration. Besides that, we have also trained young volunteers who will go down to the nooks and crannies, some of the forgotten corners of Cameroon, to personally meet with these youths who have not had the opportunity to come for the regional workshops, who have not had the opportunity,
who don't have access to internet.
So we have taken care of that. We have trained young, talented people who will be meeting this vulnerable population.
Right, I was going to ask you this question. In the report that was aired some few minutes ago, we heard the Minister of Youth Affairs of Cameroon saying that one of the problems is that young people are poorly connected or are simply connected to fake news, as he highlighted. So, and this project is coming in now, Youth Connect. So how is it going to help connect the young people or move them from bad connection to profitable connection?
Yes, I think the minister has every reason to say that they are connected negatively, or they are connected for the wrong reasons, or they are connected. In fact, we need to get connected for very good reasons. We need to get connected with, the
right objectives.
The right objectives. We don't just get connected because we want to scam. We don't get connected because we want to terrorize someone somewhere. We get connected because we want to empower ourselves, economically,
especially connected to the right,
socially, politically. We want to get connected because we want to be more useful in our societies. We want to get connected because we want to meet up with the changing times.
All right. So
that is exactly what the minister was talking about: misinformation and poor connection and whatsoever. We need to get connected. In fact, we're supposed to get relevant connections.
So after connecting the young people amongst themselves, connecting them to employers, connecting them to profitable sources of information, what next? Is it only connection?
What next? What next? Like I said, first, let me give you the outcome of the first regional workshop, which we had already. The second one is rounding off right now as I'm talking to you. The first regional workshop, which took place in Garoua, brought together youths from the 3 northern regions, the far north, north, and Adamawa regions. And they came up with a good number of problems, challenges that they face. For example, they have the problem of land. They cannot have a piece of land, cultivate. They have the problem of land to market. They have the problem, that's land to market roads, farm to market roads. They have the problems of, basic finance, to go to the bank, get money, finance themselves, and all of that. They also have the problem of early child marriages, and all of that. So they came up with these challenges. And they also came up with possible ways of handling these challenges to make them economically, socially viable. Right. So we are going to put all of this together in what we call a national validation workshop in Yaoundé. Of course, we're going to invite some of the key leaders who took part in the regional workshops in Yaoundé to say, yes, this is what we said in the second regional workshop, this is what we said in the Far North, this is what we said. Then we now merge them together with the youths, and fine-tune the possible solutions, what they said, to pick out what can be done. We want to go practical. It's not about theories, it's not about just talking. We want to have palpable results. We want to have youths who can provide employment for themselves, self-employment. We're not talking about just creating jobs for youth, but for youths to create jobs for themselves, and we make an enabling environment. Of course, government took the commitment today. The private sector, which is key, the resident representative of the United Nations Development Program, Mr. Jean-Luc Stallone, said it today. He was crystal clear, he was lucid about it, that without the private sector, Youth Connect cannot succeed. And of course, not only the private sector, he said even without the full engagement of the youths themselves, Youth Connect will not succeed.
All right, the young people who are listening to you now, what should they expect?
First, we are in the elementary stage. The United Nations, particularly United Nations Development Program, accompanied by UNFPA and UNESCO, together with the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education, we are collecting information. We are doing it bottom-up approach. We are moving to the regions to get the information from them. We are going to process the information together in a regional validation or in a national validation workshop, which we are going to come out with a roadmap for Youth Connect Cameroon. And it is that roadmap that we are going to use to raise resources, to share with development partners, the private sector in particular. We are fortunate GICAM made a pledge today. So that is practically what we are going to do. Right. We want them to be honest.
Are you saying that the unemployed youth who is listening to you now should expect to have a job in the nearest future?
Of course, we are not saying that Youth Connect will have a 100% employment rate in Cameroon in the next 5 to 10 years. No, that is not done anywhere in the world. You agree with me, Babila, that we don't have 100% rate of employment anywhere, but we want to at all costs reduce unemployment.
Thanks for coming, Joseph Fazon. Joseph Fazon, National Communication Expert of the United Nations Development Program. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. Goodbye.